Welcome to my channel, Kaylee Creations. I'm Kay, and I'm sharing with you today this vintage loaded mini album. I was asked by an admirer of one of my Halloween albums to do a swap with her and in the same exact format as the Halloween album. And so I will put a link to the Halloween album below and also the tutorial on how to make the album itself. It was a Rosa Kelly scrapbooking tutorial, and the Halloween swap was hosted by Rosa Kelly, and so I will put a link to those below. Was asked to swap an album with the same format, and so we decided that we would do a Christmas swap, and she mentioned that she liked vintage, and we decided to do Christmas. So I've tried to keep it vintage and traditional colors with reds and greens, but at the same time do something a little different, just something a little maybe more elegant and maybe just a touch of shabby here and there. So I hope she likes this album. I think it turned out really beautiful. I love how it's dark but yet soft at the same time. You know, because I considered doing white or cream, but I thought it would come out really shabby, and which would have been fine too. But I just really like the idea of doing this in a really vintage tone. So on the cover here, I have this image popped up with chipboard, and then I've just used some floral elements and some lace. And in this album, I have a few things that I've been hoarding for a long time, and I decided to include this because they just fit in this album, and this is one of them. These birds, and I know if I remember right, I think you could used to get them all the time. Maybe you still can get them, but I just really like them. I mean, I love birds and butterflies, and so sometimes it's hard to just find pieces like this, and so I've been hoarding it, but I think it went perfect right here on this cover. And the paper images, I have used a digital paper collection from Digital Curio, and I will put the link. Actually, I think I used a couple different ones, but I will put the link to those below. And I've also used some other digital images that I purchased on Etsy, and if I can remember where I got them, or if there's a little, they usually come with a little tag or something that says where they are from, but if I can, I will link those below. On the spine, this is another hoarded piece. I just love this lace, and anyway, I'm gonna have to try and find some more of this. It's just gorgeous. And then I have this little mini tassel here that I think is really pretty, and this is removable, so if she wants to remove this and use it in a different project, she can. And then I have this little charm here that's also removable. And then this charm here is a Prima charm, and it came with little alphabet cabochons to put in the middle. But I just took a paper from the paper collection and a little image and put it in there and used glossy accents over it. And so I think that's just really really pretty. And then the back here is just that beautiful paper. And the closure is this textured ribbon. It reminds me of snow. And so I really like this on here. It's a really thick, nice ribbon. And so anyway, I'll open this up. And you can see why I held it up in the beginning of the video so you could see the cover, because with the embellishments in there, it's just really full. And so you can't have a Christmas album without a vintage handmade ornament. So I have this little ornament inside here, and this was made using a matchbook. And so I made this little vintage ornament with the matchbook, and if I get, there was a couple videos, but there's one in particular that I took this idea from, and so if I remember, I'll put the link below to this, and then this cute little charm I think was from Prima, but I'm not, don't quote me on that. And anyway, it's just really cute and tiny and just really pretty. It reminds me of an old-fashioned Christmas card or ornament box or something. And so anyway, I'll put that back in the box here, or in the bag. Got this, I don't even know where I got this little bag, but I just thought it was pretty with the gold, and maybe can kind of contain the glitter, because you know, working with glitters and always these little bits are falling off here and there, and then that way maybe there won't be glitter everywhere, right? So anyway, I'll type that back up in a minute. And so this here is some vintage pendants that I got at Michael's, and I just took them off the original packaging and put them onto this here with this lace, and I just thought they were really pretty. And you can, because the bows, I think this can be Christmas, or this can be very Christmas vintagey if it's used in an embellishment on a certain project. But if she doesn't want to use it for Christmas, then she has that option too. So I really like this idea. And then this opens up, and so that's really beautiful. And then we have, I altered this little bag here with a vintage image of Santa visiting a family with a little girl, and inside I have these vintage tickets that I printed out, and I will try to put the link below if I find out who created these. I have a bunch of images in my digital stash that I've had for a long time, and I don't know if I always have sometimes they print out with the copyright and the person who created the image. And all these images are free to use for, when I purchased them, are free to use for personal use or gift giving, you know, as long as you're not commercially reproducing them. So just in case anybody's wondering. Anyway, these beautiful images, and so that's really fun. I think these will go on some really cute Christmas projects, or on a Christmas card. These would be really cute on a Christmas card. So let's open up the book here, and on this first page I have this pocket with this gorgeous lace and some floral trim, and keeping in theme with the birds and the Christmas winter florals. And so I have 3 ATC cards in here that she can use to embellish or to collect. And we have 3 postcards. So I just thought those were really fun. Oh, and let me show you this. Look how beautiful these images are from this paper collection. So very pretty. And on this side here I have a mini waterfall with one of those bird images on the top, and then there's room for 5 pictures here. Look at how beautiful that is. So this pocket here, I also purchased these at Michael's. I just thought these vintage keys were just beautiful, and they didn't come in a plastic bag. I just put them in this bag, and put a topper on. And this key is so big, I can see that the bag, oh no, that's just where it's closed. Okay, I thought the bag popped open, but it's not. Anyway, I hope it stays intact because I really didn't have a bag to fit these, but I wanted to put them in a bag and put a cute little topper on. But these keys are just so pretty. So again, they can be used for Christmas or, you know, any other Victorian or vintage project. And okay, so this here, I have some homemade vintage embellishments, and I will pull these out of the packaging. These, oh my gosh, I made these and then I didn't want to give them away. I thought they came out really pretty, if I say so myself. So anyway, they're paperclip embellishments, and I have them on tags. They don't have to be on these tags. These tags can be used for Christmas gift wrapping or anything. I just put them on the tags to better show what can be done with these paperclip embellishments. And so this one pulls off this way, and so here's the little tag that can be used for a Christmas gift or a Christmas project. But the embellishment itself can be clipped onto a package, a book, a journal, a tags, anything. And I just curled the edge of this clip here. And oh my gosh, if you're hearing that noise, my dog just dug up one of our sprinkler heads and it just came on, and so it's beating, the water's beating against the window, so I apologize for that. So anyway, I just added a bunch of lace and some ribbon and this button. Oh, I love that vintage look of this button. It's not really a vintage button, it's a newer button that I bought in a package from Buttons Galore, I believe. But anyway, and I just put this vintage image on here, and I just love that vintage Santa. Anyway, I just think this turned out really pretty, and so, oh my gosh, it was hard to give up once I made it. But so I hope she likes it. And then this one here I think was equally pretty. So this one comes off this way, and another little vintage tag there. So this one I did a little bit different. This one, well, I shouldn't say different, they're both the same, but this one I used like a muslin type ribbon, and then put lace and stuff on it. This one I used the same ribbon that's on the closure, and then I added just a bunch of different laces that I have, and some of that floral greenery that I cut off a floral pick, and then just some of this fun fur trim. This one's just a little shabbier, I think, just a little more shabby on this one. And so I hope she really likes those, and I think they came out really, really pretty. Okay, so getting back to the book, we have the middle page here, and I made a regular, this is a regular pocket, but it has a piece of lace trim over it, and I decided to make the lace trim in a pocket as well. So this little tag is sticking in there, and this can be used as a tag or as a little card or an embellishment. And I just love that roses on the green. This was a digital image that I put on the green background, and I really like how it came out. And this here is one of the digital images in that paper collection, and on the back, again, more digital image. So the birds were one collection, and the green papers that you see, the vintage greens, are from another collection. So I'll put the link to both of those below. Now we have a photo mat here. And actually, I'm going to take everything out so you can see how pretty this is. And this is the companion to the image that I used on the cover. And this is another one of those items that I had been hoarding, this Prima clip. It's just so vintage and gorgeous and pretty, and I thought it would look pretty with one of these images, vintage images that I printed out and cut and placed inside with and put the cabochon on the top. So it's like it's kind of hard to see because of the reflection of the cabochon, but it's like a, a Christmas country side picture, and so that's really pretty. And here I have another vintage bird image, and I just thought these birds were so pretty with the green and the reds. Even though they're not necessarily Christmas birds, it has a very Christmas feel to it with the snow and the blossoms, and or maybe not blossoms, but and I don't even know if that's snow. I don't know. Maybe that's just blossoms in the background. It still had a wintry Christmas feel to me. So, and then I've just put this Noel here. I think Noel is a very traditional vintage word in and of itself. And then this bark I got at Hobby Lobby in the Christmas ribbon section, and it's hard to tell in the camera, I think, but it has a bit of glitter and like snowflake texture on it, little bits of flakes of snow. And then this opens up here and room for pictures. And it's got a magnetic closure. So this here I think is really fun. This is a bunch of ribbon. There's a yard each of trim, and I just kept it on this. I might have got this ribbon card at Michael's. I'm not really sure, but it was empty, and so I just filled it with this ribbon and covered the little whatever was on there with the snowflake. And I love these little wooden shiny snowflakes. I get them at Hobby Lobby, and they're like one of my favorite things, and so I'll be really sad if they never have them anymore, but I don't know if they have them out this year or not, but these are like one of my favorite things to get at Hobby Lobby. And so anyway, so I hope she enjoys this ribbon for her embellishing projects. And then here I have just a fun card or photo mat, and it's got an old-fashioned hymn, Christmas hymn, and you can see here that it says 1855 and 1846. So, and I can't remember which is which. One would be the lyrics and one would be the music, I believe. But anyway, I just thought that was a really cool vintage image and photo mat on the back. So once she's taken all the embellishments out, this can be a great, it'll hold a ton of photos because of all the pockets, and these pockets here will hold photos, and so there's just lots of room for pictures. And then this page here, I love this green ribbon with this this paper here, and so when you open this up, folds open, room for a couple more photos or lots of little photos. And this was another one of my hoarded items. Let me just tie this up here and you can get a better look. This is a Petal Flower, and for those of you who don't know, Petal did go out of business, and so my Petal flowers I have left are very hoarded. I seldom use them unless I really think the occasion calls for it, but I just loved how the red went with this album, and it has that kind of a country feel. And so I thought it went well with the birds and the botanicals and the winter greens. And so anyway, there that is. And on this page here, I made an expandable pocket, and I added a little button on the end for the, just to make it easier to maybe grab the string. And I love these giant buttons here. I'm not really sure where I got these, but I just love how they go with the pine cones here. And this is an image that I digitally placed onto this green striped paper, and I just thought it was really pretty. And so this opens up, and then there's some little vintage envelopes inside. And I thought that she can put her mementos from Christmas or Christmas cards in here and things like that in her, or tags that she wants to save into this pocket. So that was my idea of making it anyway. But inside I have this trim that I put on this card. It's an empty card that I had, and I just really think this is a really good sturdy baker's twine with the silver. It's really pretty. And these envelopes here are some from some images that I printed out, and they were shaped and everything. All I had to do was cut them out and fold them, and I did ink them and glue them together to form the envelope, but I haven't put any closures on them. A lot of times when I see envelope stacks, there is no closures on them. Typically people use a little paper clip, or you know, or if they do other things with them, and I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. Let me open this up. So they can be used as in a little envelope stack or in a project. And I didn't put a closure on because sometimes, you know, people like to mount their envelopes like so on a project so that it's glued like this, and then you just tuck the items in. So there doesn't really need to be a closure. Or sometimes I have glued envelopes like this onto the piece of paper, and so on the other side it's a fold out. So that's usually things I would do in a junk journal. And so that's why I didn't put a closure on there. You know, I wasn't really sure how she was going to use these as embellishments, but she certainly could, you know, put a little button on the top, or put a little clear Velcro to hold it together, or like I said, a paper clip would be cute. And so anyway, there's two sizes. This is a little, I think these little mini sizes are adorable. And then this is kind of an ATC size. Let's see, maybe not. Yeah, these ATC cards fit right in. And so I might actually just print out a couple more ATC cards and put them in here for fun. So, and then this one here. So these are both the same images, just different sizes here. So anyway, see how pretty that would look in a book or something, or in a journal. So anyway, so I hope she enjoys those. And then the last pocket is another item I've been hoarding. These are Advent tags from my mind's eye, and I mean, these came out years ago, and I really miss my mind's eye. I mean, I know they're still putting out collections, but this they had that Lost and Found collections, and some of their glitter collections with the glittered paper. I really missed those paper collections. And so this, I've been saving these advent tags because I thought it would make a really cute, I could make a really cute advent board or a calendar, or I was, going to use it for gifts every day. I don't know, I had a lot of ideas for use for this, and I've just been waiting and waiting, and then I decided, you know what, I haven't used them yet, and the vintage, I mean, it's a little more blue than this, but the vintage of it just really went well with this album, and so I thought she'd really enjoy having these. My mind's eye. This is a very cherished item for me, so I hope she likes it. I hated giving that one up too, so I know I need to stop being so selfish. And this ornament here, I just think is very sweet and pretty. It's just chipboard with some paper and these printed images, and one of those snowflakes that I just absolutely love from Hobby Lobby, except I just used some gold Prima wax and wiped the front, and it gave it that gold, vintage gold look, and some fun for trimming a little button. And then this is wired ribbon, and I liked using this wired ribbon for my ornaments because it could stiffly stand on the tree on its own, but also if she decides she needed it longer and wants to put one of those, those hooks, those Christmas tree hooks, um, she can kind of like squeeze the ribbon around that hook and it'll stay nice and sturdy on the hook. And so that was my thinking with that. But anyway, I just think this turned out really pretty. And so I'm thinking I might do more of this. It was so easy because it's just, cut out shapes and the paper and the lace, and yet it came out so pretty. So putting it in this bag as well so that hopefully it doesn't, the glitter doesn't get everywhere. And anyway, so that's the end. Anyway, I hope she enjoys this. It's a long time in coming, and so I hope it was worth the wait for her. And anyway, so if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments, I would love to hear. And so anyway, as you can see, once the embellishments are out, this lays pretty flat. So when she gets her pictures in here, it shouldn't take up so much room that it'll bulk it up too much again, and the ribbon should keep it closed really nicely. So anyway, there's my vintage Christmas loaded album. So thanks for watching. Bye.